Now or never.
All right, y'all. Welcome to Ivy Knows Best. It's your boy Eric Ivy. Today, this is a little different than what we normally do. Normally, it's all audio, but this conversation was one that I had to have face to face. All right, with one of my very special guests. I'm going to explain to you who she is as always. First I'll welcome y'all in, tell y'all sit down, have a drink, enjoy yourself, get comfortable. But today I'm in my lavish robe, as you can see. And in all the lavishness in which I do exude today, I'm going to introduce you to a very, very important person in my life, my big sister, Miss Kanita Steadmon. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Just quarantining in the closet. And so kind of like trapped in the closet, but quarantined
Right,
in the
right,
closet right now. So,
right. Well, first and foremost, I want to welcome you, obviously, to Ivy Knows Best.
well,
Um,
thank you.
for anyone who's ever listened to my show or had a good time on my show or even hated my show, I have a lot of siblings. I have a lot of people that I spend a lot of time with in my life. And even though I'm the best of the five, this is
Oh,
number one. Okay. So I'm gonna let her have her shine on my show today. Because we had these conversations right back and forth. And she actually listens to my show a lot and she actually gives me feedback. So a lot of the fixes that I make on my show do come from my current guest, Miss Kanita Steadman. So definitely let's give her a round of applause and thank her for being here with us today.
well,
And
thank you.
and go ahead, Kanita. So explain to us who you are, obviously, other than what I've already explained.
I am, first off, number one, the best sibling, the best child our parents have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the best example that everyone actually come to, or actually, you know, I guess it's a tie between me and our brother because you might run to him and I get everything from our sister. She comes to me for advice. But no, I am actually just a regular person. I work every day, um, go to school, have two children. Pretty much, and I'm in a complicated relationship right now. So, and it's just I had some questions about a podcast you did
Mm-hmm.
earlier, what, last week maybe. And it's funny
Episode
because
32. 32.
episode 32, yes. It's funny because sometimes um, my significant other have made that same point that you've made,
Mm-hmm.
that women change when they get money.
Mm.
And I beg to differ. Women do not change or act like they do not need a man. They don't need a man whenever they have money. I just really don't feel that's correct. That's a correct
Okay.
um,
Okay. So
thing to say.
what makes you feel that way? And I'm gonna tell you why I feel that way. All right. Just to be clear. All right. So a lot of times with what we experience, especially as men. All right. And first and foremost, shout out to your significant other because he sounds like a very wise man. He
Mm.
agreed with me and he knows Ivy knows best, even if he doesn't know Ivy. All right. So, but all joking aside, definitely the reason why we do say the things that we say when it comes down to that is a lot of the times as men we hear so often, whether it's from music, friends, family, whatever the case may be, girl, you don't need him. Girl, you could do so much better without him. Girl, you don't need, so that conversation is always out there. And what tends to happen is not all women. All right. So I'm going to be fair to you because this might not necessarily be you, but a lot of the times we receive that negativity that comes with it. So receive that hardcore attitude of we don't need you, and then music tells the ladies they don't need us. And then, not only are we acting up and doing what we doing, right? That's making y'all feel that way. Now you have somebody amening you in the corner, and now you guys are actually feeling that you don't need someone. And truthfully, you don't have to need me, right? Needing me isn't important. What's most important it tends to be just accepting that even I accept the fact that I need a woman in my life. I've never heard a man other than the Yin Yang twins talk about how they didn't need a woman. All right, and one of them did. Like we were that's that's totally different. You know what I'm saying? So with women, I understand where y'all would come from the idea of okay, well, financially speaking, when you do kind of become financially secure, I don't necessarily need a man to do anything for me financially is a fine statement. But we tend to see that it goes a little bit deeper than that. And that was just kind of the reason for, you know, the point being made really on my side. So I mean, obviously you don't agree with that, but what made my statement unagreeable other than obviously the fact that you felt it wasn't true?
Let's go back to the when you said just now
Mhm,
that we have songs out, or songs or just media, just anything that we see about, girl, you don't need him, you don't need a man, you don't, whatever.
mhm,
Those things are coming from hurts, like being hurt in a past situation. We don't wake up one day and just say, girl, I don't need a man. No, we've been putting up with so many things
mhm,
that at a breaking point, it's not because I have money. It's because at this point I realize, you know what, I really don't need him for anything.
okay.
Now, it's whenever I like to say, like, sometimes men condition women to be a certain way.
Mhm,
And when you think about it, a lot of us come from, not a lot of us, I can't agree from this because I've either had my father or our stepfather in our lives.
mhm,
So I've always had a good example of a role model in my life, even as far as my grandfather goes. But um, traditionally, a lot of parents, a lot of Black families, they don't, a lot of Black children don't come from married homes,
mhm,
where they see both parents um, contributing, helping to raise, just everything. A lot of times we see a woman picking the slack up, or a woman that's actually always doing everything.
mhm.
So whenever like, just working and taking care of your kids, shoot, sorry. I had an alert that just came through that really
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
messed up with me.
No,
Um, but we're so used to having to take care of everything that we just feel like we don't need anyone. But that doesn't mean we don't really need you. What we're
mhm,
trying to say is we want you in our lives, but you don't have to be here if you don't want to be here. You don't have to We don't need you here if you're going to run out and be with other women. We don't
mhm.
need you here if you can't help, if you can't contribute to a household. Um, it's just it's just a crazy situation sometimes for us.
Right.
And sometimes that's I'm
I didn't
sorry.
mean to cut you. I didn't mean to cut you out. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sometimes that's a defense as well for us,
Mhm,
because if our significant other is not doing what we think that they should be doing, we put up these walls and we become defensive. And so we have this thing about us that maybe we are saying we really do want them there, and we want them doing a certain thing or being a certain way, but we're going to pretend like we don't need them, so that is showing the world that we're not bothered by what's going on, but we really are bothered by what's going on. But
right.
to go back to the point, I really feel like, yeah, it is an incorrect statement, because I feel like maybe you're basing it off of an age thing and not, because I just feel like, as for me, I want a man in
Mhm.
my life. I want to keep a man. I want to, have a husband, but I don't want him thinking I need him.
Right. So you
Or
don't want a man at all costs, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like you ever seen the person that's like, I'm either gonna have a man or I'm not gonna have a man, and that's just it, right? Like no matter what happens, I'm gonna have a man, and he's gonna be like that no matter, or it's gonna be like that no matter what he does. So you don't need a man at all costs, which I understand. This is the part of it where I say it's not all women. All right, and maybe it is an age grouping thing, but when them songs kick on, and y'all be singing along, yeah, listen, that not me personally. This is not something I personally go through, but what I normally tend to see a lot of is when them songs kick on and them females are singing along, it's real. It like to them, like you can see the emotion in the female. I, what song was it? What song was it that Beyonce had out? Uh, Jesus, can't think of the name of that
you
song.
just don't know about me. You
Oh,
just don't
there,
know about me.
there you
I
go.
can find another you in a minute. Yeah, I know
Look,
exactly what
see,
they mean.
See, look at the emotion in that part. You know what I mean? The emotion and word to my lavish robe. By the way, shout out to your lavish robe in the back. I can see it. Just wanted to give you some props on that. All right, you should have put it on. We'd have been lavish robe together, but for sure. Um, the reality is when that song comes on, it's a hit song, right? But it's a hit song because it's relatable, right? So
Correct.
there's people who aren't picking up. And it's not necessarily you or your age group, but there's people who pick up just parts of that song, right? And they live out just parts of it, right? So you ever been in an argument with your significant other? They can be saying 100 things, but you'll pick up 40 of them, right? And the 40 things that you'll pick up will be the most either A, hurtful, B, the ones that resonate with you the most, or C, the ones you definitely don't fuck with or mess with. But I'm not messing with them. Now I don't like that conversation. You keep that shit to yourself. I don't know where you got it from, right? That's kind of how that goes, right? So that same selective hearing that we have as men and women when it comes down to music and songs and stuff like that, we have that same selective hearing when it comes down to arguments, right? So what happens in these songs, it's kind of like those dudes who listen to drug dealing, right? Listen to all that drug dealing rap and all the murder, all the trap rap, all that. They don't look at the fact that these people are talking about killing people. Either they've done it or they haven't done it. But if you go out and you live that life, you're not going to be able to rap about that if you get caught. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds appealing, but in reality, it's like now you have to live that with certain people, right? And in this instance, when we have this, which by the way, I'm very much so a girl dad. I have 3 daughters, as everyone knows, and I have 1 son, right? So when I talk to my daughters, I tell them you don't need a man to financially complete you. No, you do not, right? But if you happen to have a life or decide to build a life with a person or have children with a person, they do need to be there to help you, and you do need them to help you, right? So you need to learn how to get along with those people or get along with that person in hopes that you can have exactly what it is that you need to bring your child, the completeness that they deserve, right? So a lot of that sometimes gets lost in translation because I don't need a man or I don't need a nigga because I have money, right? Translates to all I need to do is get the bag and a nigga can come and go if he wants to. I don't care. I don't need that because I got the money and I can take care of the kid. Not realizing that the kid needs more than finances. The kid needs, the emotional support and all that. And as a woman, y'all give all those things. Those are the things that you guys naturally give. So if I add money into the equation, now you seem more like in your mind, you will feel a lot more complete because you're like, I'm already giving my kid emotional support. I'm giving my kid all the love they need. I'm giving my kid all the financial support they need. Why do I need a nigga? Or man, pardon my language. Why do I need a man? You know what I mean? Why would I want one? So that's where that kind of comes from as far as, but I understand, I agree with you. I think that it does kind of sometimes come with age group after a while because it's starting to become more of a, I seen this post. Chick said, oh, well, I don't mean to overtalk you either. I do apologize. But chick said, we don't longer chase rich niggas. We are the rich niggas. Well, that's the opposite. That's wrong. That's wrong. Because a rich nigga gonna chase a female that look the part. He gonna still mess with what looks good to him, what works for him. He's not out here like, oh, I'm not chasing. No, 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 no. You think a rich man wouldn't like a rich woman in his life, so he ain't got to spend no money on her?
You know, um, Here's the thing. But how often do you see a rich man with a rich woman?
Very rarely.
It's
Very
very
rarely.
rare because a rich man is going to take that young, nice, pretty thing. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to be 49. She might be 22.
Mm-hmm.
She don't have money. She's
Yep.
going to be this Instagram model. She's going to be this Facebook model. She's going to be some kind of social media, whatever.
Right.
And um, he can take that and turn it into something.
Right.
Uh,
He would have that idea of I built this. You are who you are because of me, and
and
to a
guess
degree.
and guess what? He'll be able to control her
That's fair. That's fair.
because he's giving her money whenever she wants it. And if she does something that he don't like, he can take that money away and where she left.
That's true.
Either complying with him or trying to find somebody else to go to or trying to fit because once you live a certain life, it's gonna be hard to go back to a normal to a different life, to that life where you're trying to figure out how you're gonna pay this rent and how you're gonna get fed and just whatever.
Right. Now I have a question though about
I
that. And
mean,
I said this to B the other day. I said, hey, I think Beyonce might be getting abused by Jay-Z financially. I probably ain't gonna be able to
why?
say I probably won't be able to say that completely. But I mean, what do you
Why?
mean? I don't know why I said it. Because I thought about it. I said, wait a minute, she signed to Rock Nation. She probably got a piece of the business. I mean, there's probably a lot of intricacies that go in it. But like when I started thinking about it, I'm like, he's a billionaire. and she probably can get some money off of him when they get a divorce. Probably all kind of stuff involved. But I kind of feel like there's so much business tied up between those two that it wouldn't benefit her to leave right now. I really feel that. I don't have the facts to really back that up, but just the conspiracy theorist inside me would
Mm.
say there's way too much tied up in me or in you and me for me just to bounce. Because he cheated on her with a model. She could have been with anybody she wanted to be with, but she stayed with him.
But here's the thing. I feel like she doesn't have to be with him to be who she is. She has made her she's a superstar in her own right.
Mhm.
And whether he's a billionaire, we don't, she could have things that we don't know about. And I mean, it's not, I really think that she's with him for love. It's a love thing. I don't think it's a business thing because she's Beyonce. She was Beyonce before Jay-Z. She's going to be Beyonce after Jay-Z. I don't think it's
Mm.
a, I don't, I really don't. I think I mean, let me just put it like this. Before Beyonce got with Jay-Z, I was like, Jay-Z who?
Wait, what? Oh,
That,
nah, you tripping.
and that was, and that
You
was
didn't.
really, that is, I think that's true for a lot of the, people on the pop side of, uh, I think she made him relevant to other people like me who don't listen to
Mhm,
rap, people
mhm.
like me who don't think that, who just, she made him
See, but
relevant to us.
see,
And
but
that's a big fan base.
at the same time, as much as I do agree with that, she probably did open up other people's eyes to him. We're talking about the biggest mogul on this side of the music industry. She knew who he was. We all do.
That's
We all
that's
knew
how I
about
felt about
Big
Beyonce
Pimpin'.
though.
We all knew about all that, and I agree with that. I can see where you would come with that, but I don't think he's one of these people that we could really say that about. And the reason why is because
But I still didn't listen to his music. I still never bought a CD. I never.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
I
you heard not reason, but I'm pretty sure you heard Big Pimpin' at least. We
I
grew up
mean,
together, so I
yeah.
know
I
Big
mean,
Pimpin' was there.
what was? I mean, yeah. It was a big. It was. I was like what middle high school when that came out. So yes,
Mhm.
I that was a popular song. However, because CDs were important to me back then.
As it was to
I still
everyone.
wouldn't. I mean, I'm just saying. Except
Yeah, yeah.
I just wasn't buying his CD
Oh no, of course not.
or yeah. That's just wasn't happening. But if you ask me, who got every Beyonce CD? This girl, and I still have them.
I mean, you look
Destiny's Child.
for anyone who
I,
doesn't know, she's a super fan. I remember being a kid, right?
who's
And I
seen
mean,
Beyonce a million times, even though they've seen a concert, been to the
like
same
like
concert.
my she would legit have a whole concert in the house while we're there. And
Mm,
she's doing her hair, whatever it is she's doing, and singing and carrying on. She's a definite big Beyonce fan. But my thing is, I do feel like this. I think money plays a big part in why she hasn't left. And
no,
that's just. But now, granted, don't get it wrong.
let's
I
agree
don't
to
think
disagree.
we can agree to disagree on that. But I don't think that she's there solely for money. No, no, no. I think there's probably some love there. I'm pretty sure. But I don't think when I look at them that I believe what I'm seeing. The same thing I
I
said
mean,
about
also, but look at it. She was there before he was all this. He was, yeah. I mean, so you're saying he was this great rapper when they met, but he wasn't this billionaire when they met. So
he
I
was
believe that she
he was a
contributed to
hundred
that. To that.
he was 100 millionaire by that time.
Okay,
Yeah,
I mean, but still, she contributed to that billionaire status. So let's get real with that. I really feel like behind every strong man, what they say, behind every man is a strong woman.
but
That's what pushed him. Yeah.
behind every strong man is $1 billion industry that you help.
Oh hush.
Yeah. And get I look,
But kind of,
look, I love Beyonce, I really do, but I don't think that she contributed that big to it. But that's
I
just
do.
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying I do. I'm just saying I do.
No, I think no. Now I will say this though. I will say this. Beyonce headlines with or without Jay Z. Period. Without question. We don't need like Jay Z could legit divorce Beyonce and Beyonce will continue on being a thing. Jay's music, no offense to Jay Z, God bless him, loves music, but I'm pretty sure he's fallen off a little. He's fallen off at a. This is what rap music is not like R&B or not like rock and roll where people endear you so long. It's really like if you don't strike now, it's over. You can legit miss your mark, or you can revitalize yourself 100 times like Jay Z has. But I think that and it's just outside of Jay-Z, I don't think I've ever seen a woman who's well off marry a man who's not, which kind of also kind of
And
leads
that's
to
true.
that. Like
That's so true.
that doesn't happen.
Except for I have a very a show that I love to watch.
Mhm.
It's about uh oh, I forgot. Pretty much oh, I forgot what it was called, but millionaires, people with money marrying
Millionaire
people.
Matchmaker.
No, not Millionaire Matchmaker. Show slipped my mind, but pretty much well-off people marrying people who are the total opposite, don't have anything. There was
Mhm.
one lady on there who fell in love with a homeless guy.
Crazy.
She is this big makeup mogul,
Mm.
and she fell in love with someone who was living in his car. He was a skater dude,
And you know, I'm tell you
and
what it was.
she was gonna marry him.
I'm tell you what it was. Tell you
It
what it
was
was.
I. It wasn't the D.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that at all. That was the furthest thing from my mind. I'm like, no, Lord, no. I think she found somebody she can control. All right. Now look, ladies, this is not a knock towards all of y'all, okay? But I'm gonna say this. Look at Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, I mean, her and Stephen been together what 30 something longer than I've been. I'm 31. They've been together longer than I've been alive, probably, and she still ain't marrying him because she doesn't feel like she needs Stedman yet.
Mm,
I feel like, and I said this. All right, so this is the reality. All right, men hold the key to a relationship. Women hold the key to sex, right? And they are synonymous, right? Because no one has sex with you unless you allow them. Like straight up. As a man, you have to go fishing. Like ain't nobody walking up on you like, I got something for you. And you'll like it. And if they do and you're a regular guy, you better run. Because that's not real, right? That's not happening to us regular people, right? So you got to kind of try your hand, right? Same thing with women. A dude ain't just gonna walk up and be like, I want to be with you and really mean it and really give you that faithful relationship, right? So what tends to happen is both sides bring what they have or the kids they have and they try to make it fit somehow, right? So I've seen guys dangle the relationship over a girl's head just so they can continue to have sex with her, right? And I've also seen females use sex to control a man into a relationship, right? So what ends up happening, instead of them both going, hey, I'm in the middle with this, they both fall to the one thing that they know, right? And the one thing they know is this: okay, cool, I want to have a relationship, but now I'm going to use my mode of control. I'm going to use my mode of control, right? And it doesn't work all the time. Because what happens is, let's say I'm using my mode of control, she's using her mode, and we both come, we start knocking heads in here. All right, well, your sex ain't more important than me giving you a relationship. Well, your relationship don't mean nothing to me neither because I have the sex and now I have the money. All right, so I can have the money and I won't be able to domineer you the same way and be revered for it. So if I bring my key plus that dominance, that's going to seem like I'm lording myself over you. If you do it, it makes you independent. It makes you a boss as a female because you don't
so
have to, you know, acquiesce to a relationship because nigga, okay, cool. The one thing you have is now powerless because I got the pussy. Formal language, you know.
so I have a question.
Yeah.
Going back to the well, my one question is this: would you prefer somebody to need you, or would you want somebody to want you? Because I feel like maybe Oprah don't need Stedman, but maybe she wants Stedman.
Mm.
And how do we know that Stedman is not wanting to marry Oprah, and that's why they're not married?
Well, to answer your question, well, one, I know Stedman ain't stupid. We gonna marry. We gonna
I
marry
mean,
somebody who can
let's,
take care of
but
us. Like you done took care
but
of me for
really,
30 years,
I mean, exactly. So what if he's not? He's saying, you know what? I don't need to marry her because she's gonna always take care of me. She's been taking care of me.
right? But okay, okay. He might not. He
She's
may
proven to
actually.
him. Sorry,
No, you good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say she's proven to him that I got you whether my last name is Graham or not.
Right, but check this out. How do you got me?
Well, she got him because basically he probably has companies that we don't even know about that he
So
got with her money.
so financially, I got you right.
But not even that. She got him in any kind of way. Period.
I guarantee you, when she
She
don't
has
want to have
demonstrated that
sex,
because I mean
when
I'm just saying
when she
she's
don't want to. When she don't want to be bothered with Stedman, she regulates him to bye
But
Stedman.
that
I guarantee
that's
you,
not
he walked
about
in the
that's not
room.
about financial that's not about financial control, because I can, because any woman can, or any person can do that whether they have money or not.
As true as that might be, I think money just adds a little bit to it.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, but I could still say if I don't feel like doing anything, and
No,
I
that's fair. Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
Someone's
say
gonna
no.
respect it. But imagine being rich. Yeah, I feel like in my mind, I feel like when she tells him no, she throws like $100,000 in ones in his face.
Exactly. That's a man thing. That's a man's perspective. Because
And
men
instead
feel
of
like sex control. I really feel like sex really. You guys think that's a controlling thing. I don't think it. I don't necessarily think that women use that as a controlling thing all the time. Because sometimes women are just really tired, don't want to do it.
girl, that's what I
You
ain't gonna
know,
lie. They be
you've
weaponizing
dealt
that
with the
thing.
kids. You've dealt with the kids all day. You worked all day. You had to come
Mhm,
home and clean up. You had to. Oh, now that we're in quarantine, you have to do NTI and still have to work a regular 8-hour shift or whatever type of shift you work.
mhm.
You don't want to go do anything with nobody at that point. You're tired,
And, and I, you know
mentally,
what?
physically, everything.
And I can respect that. And that's why those millionaire men go get these little young things who ain't got no money and no time on them, because they now at this point the thing I need you for I can have without reservation. You've been being pampered all day. You haven't had to go do anything. Bring yourself to me. That's what a lot of them do. That's just the reality of it. And I think that works. And that's what I mean by you bring your key, I bring mine. Right. What happens with a richer person? Because I definitely got to answer your question first, because
Mm.
before I get into this little point that I'm about to make, would I rather want to be wanted or want to be needed? Now listen, I don't think any person is going to want to be needed, because when someone needs you, that doesn't mean that they want you. That just means that they're there for the purpose of that need being met. Right. Now, this is because we live in a world where people, now getting to your next that point you made, weaponize their key, right? So rich men will use money to control women. Women will use vagina to control people who don't have control of themselves. So if you have you ever met, have you ever seen a handsome man, right? And he's just turned down thousands and thousands and thousands of women. Who's ever heard of that? Exactly. Exactly. Nobody. Listen, I guarantee Michael B. Jordan right now. Look, ladies, I know y'all love him, but I bet you if you put 10 women in the room that he really want, he gonna hit them all. I could put you could put me in a room. Not use me. You can put any regular guy in a room with 10 of the baddest females. He gonna fold for all 10. You can put a regular female in a room with 10 of the most handsome men. She only gonna hook up with the one that she wants to hook up with. She ain't gonna fall for all 10 of them. That's not how women work. They lock on to what they want and they be like, oh, Michael B. Jordan, you it. You can have Michael B. Jordan, Michael Jordan, Jay-Z, Johnson, whoever, whatever guys you can put in a row that you might find to be handsome, and you only gonna roll with one. Put me in a room with J Lo and Beyonce and I mean Jill Scott, but only for other reasons. You put me in a room with any of them. I'm going. I'm going all 10 ways. Listen, you got to call mama and have her pick me up 10 days from that time. I'm taking one day with each one.
But listen, also, double standard sits here, because put me in a room with 10 men and it could be 10 of the best men that I think that I'm attracted to.
Mm.
Let's be honest. If I hooked up with all 10 of them, I'm a hoe. But let's be
That,
honest, if you hooked up with all 10 women, you're good.
I mean, yeah,
So there are reasons why women do certain things they do.
it's control. It's control, baby. It's control. I'm gonna tell you
It,
why. All right.
it,
I love you to death. I love you, and I'm gonna shoot straight with you. And this is the craziest thing. I don't. And listen, gentlemen and ladies, when you're watching this show, you probably gonna be like, "What in the world?" It's real. If I took if I took a female, a female knows when she's gonna hook up with somebody.
mhm.
She knows from the onset. As soon as he start talking, when he walk in the room, whatever it is. As a man, I cannot walk in here and be like, I'm gonna have sex with all y'all. Number one, I'm automatically an animal. Like, control yourself, sir. I can't walk in this room full of women and not act like, oh, hi, ladies. How are you? I have to be respectful. Y'all could walk in a room full of men and be like, oh, y'all niggas some hoes. And we be like, yeah, we all going. What's up? I'm like, well, let Beyonce walk in this room right now. She walk in this room right now and be like, tell your whole family leave. I'm like, y'all need to get on up out of here. But right now, listen, I'll send you the money on the back end. Right? Just hey, go get yourself something nice, go on now. But that's the difference. We don't control that narrative. Now, here's the thing. We have luckily as a society transferred into a new time where as a female you can have as much sex as you want to have and no one is to judge you. But slut shaming doesn't come from men anyway. I don't believe. I think slut shaming really truly comes from the other feminine species, because what happens is a lot of women get jealous of other females. But look at her, she's a hoe, she's done. You think men are mad at hoes? No, men are not mad at women who sleep around. They trying to get in the number. That's all that is. Now once they've gotten in the number and they become disenfranchised or weak or whatever, that's when they start slut shaming. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's fair or not is really, neither here nor there. But that's generally what happens. So the beginning of slut shaming generally comes from other women. Go out and be with
And
them
it ends
other,
with men.
and it ends with men, right? So the thing that women generally pick up is what? The end result, right? Go out and be with those hoes. How many hoes are you talking to? I bet you got hoes, not other females, lady friends, partners, whatever. No, it's hoes, right? So, and what happens is men generally, like we just expressed, we contact or connect to sexual energy, right? And it's not always sexual energy. I would say intimacy is what we generally connect to, because there's men in this world who don't necessarily need that. They can get kisses and hugs and shown that they're loved in some way and they'll be fine, right? With women, I think that it's a little bit of both. It's okay, you have to mentally stimulate me and make me feel important. You have to show me love so I can reciprocate the love that you're speaking of, that you would like, that you want. That's how that kind of goes, just from my perspective. I could completely be wrong because I'm not a woman. This is just kind of the things that I've experienced in life. But I think that we've gotten to this place now where nobody wants to reciprocate anything. It's you got something I need, I got something you need. All right, cool. What's up? It's a whole culture.
And
We live in what's called a whole culture.
that's I was gonna say that's um really the sign of the times right now.
Right.
If I need to hook up with somebody, guess what? I can go to an app. It's no more courting, no more dating, no more what are you doing? Can I pick you up and take you out to dinner? Just do you want to go take a walk around the park? Just anything to get to know someone. Can I
Mm-hmm.
even call you on the phone? Because people don't even call people on the phone anymore.
They text.
Um, so um, that's why we've gotten to this whole whole culture. Um, but did you ever answer my question about do you want to be wanted or needed?
I think I might have. I mean, I'll answer it again if I didn't, just in case I didn't discover. I would prefer to be wanted than needed.
Okay, so the reason why I asked that is because I was once told that they told by someone that they wanted their person to need them and not want them. Because
Mm.
if I just wanted you, I could, when I'm done wanting you, I could just throw you away. But if I needed you, needing them meant like I needed their affection. I needed, every part of them, not just the
See,
financial part of them, but just emotionally, physically, whatever. It's harder to let someone go when you need them like that.
but your need, I feel like to that person, your need can be met from anywhere or any source. So it's easy to have your place taken. You see what I'm saying? So
See,
like
I
if
yeah.
so if a female's like, I need affection, right? I need that. She can clearly, or a man, whoever, can clearly go and get that affection from somewhere else and then come home. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you want somebody, you only want that affection from them. You don't need it because you are a complete. You should at least be a complete human who comes along with all of its own faculties and setups and all that on its own. So when you want something, right, it's a little bit different from when you need it. Because when you need it, once like food, okay, once you eat and you're full, what happens? You move on from food,
Okay, but the same thing with want though. When you want
right?
something and you satisfy that, you're done and you move on from it.
Right, but that want, I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. but that want isn't like so all right, I want pizza, right? Is different from I need pizza, right? Like I want pizza because I desire to have it. Want is the desire. Need, it really comes from a place of lack. You know what I'm saying? So one comes from a place of abundance and want, and the other one comes from the place of lack, which is need, right? So the only way you need to, the only time you're gonna need something is when you don't have it. So that's why
True.
that's where I would prefer to be wanted, because then at that point now you're gonna seek me out. Oh,
Mm.
I want you to come in here and spend time with me. Okay, cool.
In my defense, I feel like I would want to be wanted instead of needed, but I was just wanting to know from someone else
Hmm.
the want and need thing from somebody, because I feel I do agree with the fact that if someone do need they need help financially, they're gonna use someone until they get what they need,
And then they're
and then they're
out
done.
of there. They oh my Lord Jesus.
But to get back to the statement, I women do not bounce once they're financially stable, because I feel like we are loyal people. A
Right.
lot of times when we don't when you know we are some a lot of times we choose to be with men who may, or not even choose, well, I would say, I guess choose is the right word. We will choose a man that may not be financially right where he is, and we may be the person making more money, taking care of them, taking care of home,
Mhm.
and then we might be getting him to where he needed, like allowing him to get his degree, allowing, taking care of him while he's getting better, where he's bettering himself.
Mhm.
And then once he betters himself, there's no chance that he might stay with me. Hell, his secretary, because once he becomes this great person and has a let's say his fictitious secretary, she's beautiful and something that I'm not. Chances
Hey,
are,
the first thing that comes to my mind is Kanye, and when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl.
oh, that's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to say that.
Oh, hey, to all
But
my
I
white
just
fans out there, I love y'all. This is not personal. It's not racist. It's Kanye said that,
it
but
is
it's
not
whatever.
and it's not a racist thing for me, but sometimes we will hold the fort down for our men to
Mhm.
better themselves, and then once they get better, we're lacking where we need to be, because we worked hard to allow him to get to where he need to be, thinking that in return he would do the same for us. And
Mhm.
a lot of times that does not happen.
Right.
We
You know,
don't see sorry.
no, no, no. You good? I interrupt you. I interrupt you. Go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of times it's like we don't see that happening, where now he's good, he's taking care of home, because
Mhm.
now it's like he's good, he's making more money, and then he starts seeing that, oh, she's not as educated as I am, or she's not as educated as his counterparts, because now he's in this other world where he's meeting other educated women, or other women who's more can relate to him now that he's this other person,
Mhm.
not remembering that, the reason why I didn't finish my degree was because I was working so I could take care of home while you
Mhm.
got yourself better, because I thought I'd be able to take care of get my degree once you were done
Right.
doing
And
what you needed to do.
do you know? And this is the craziest thing. All right, and just to kind of piggyback on that, we are such creatures of habit just as men, right? You ever seen, like, and this one, when they liken men to dogs and women to cats, they're really
Mhm.
close to this. You ever seen a dog just go out and party and play, hang out with all the other dogs, run around the street, go do this, go do that, but he will always come home.
Mhm.
Okay. So it don't matter if he got 10 dogs over here, if he met a super educated dog, right? And that dog was the best dog he ever met in his life. She looked great and all that. He might not now, this is not all the time. This is not all the time. He might look at that one dog and be like, you cool. And I might want to cross certain boundaries with you. I'm going home. My master treats me well. She puts food in my bowl and water, and I get to sleep inside. Sometimes she even gives me kisses and hugs. And it is weird. It's really weird. Generally, as men, we are conditioned to continue to go towards a person that gives you peace, right? So for those men who are actually out there doing exactly what it is that you're saying they're doing, which is not really reciprocating um the love that was shown by, hey, look, we're gonna get on our feet, we're gonna push, and it's gonna be your turn, right? Men who don't reciprocate that, or people who don't reciprocate that, are really weak-minded people, and they need to grow up. You know what I mean? because there's no way that I'm on top and I'm pushing and I'm striving, and then when it's her turn to be on top, I'm like, nah, you good. Like, no, I can't do that. That's a really selfish mentality. And if anyone's ever dealt with that, it really speaks volumes to not your character, but the character of the person that you dealt with at the time. And that's one of those learning lessons that I think that we as people need to like hold on to, right? Like, okay, hey, look, I don't need a person who's going to be that way, right? I know for a fact what can happen. So let me situate myself to where, okay, cool. If this doesn't happen the way that I need to happen, then we good. Which is also why a lot of women don't, even though girls do tend to marry for potential, they'll be like, you know what? This dude got a lot of potential. He's going somewhere and all the other stuff. Even though they do that, a lot of women nowadays aren't doing that no more. Potential's out the window. It's either you got it or you don't. You either got it or
Really?
you don't. No, I think we have a lot less. I think our women have smartened up to it because now it's like, okay, there are a lot of women who hold men down, but that's not the move no more. Now the move is I got
I
my
don't.
own cake, I got my own job, I got my own stuff. So when
I
I when
really
I
think
meet up
that.
with you, it's cool.
I really think. Well, I guess that's the good point. Yeah. I was gonna say I still feel like I feel like I see a lot more women still holding men down that are not where they feel like they should be.
Hmm.
Right.
And and that happens. That
So
happens.
I just, and it's still, yeah, even though it's 2021, I forgot what year it was. I keep thinking 2020. Um, I still see that. Well, not necessarily
Mhm.
from me, because I'm too old for that at this point. And any man that I meet, I hope that, or that any man that I'm with, by his 40s, I hope he kind of knows what he's going to do or where he's going to
Mhm.
be, just whatever.
Right, right.
Um, but I feel like a lot of our younger girls, they're getting, I hate to, I always think about this. A lot of our girls are a lot of our what mid to late 20-year-old women are like nurses and making pretty good money for themselves, and they're still messing with these guys who don't necessarily have a job, drug dealers, whatever, and they're holding them down.
I think it's because they believe that they can do what men can do. All right, now hear me out. This is about to be nuts. Follow me on
Okay.
this. I'm gonna
I'm
take us
following you.
somewhere. All right, we going somewhere. All right. If we look back at our mothers in time, right? They could marry a crack addict and stay with them for 40 years and ride off into the sunset, right? If we go back to our grandmother's time, men had different families and they lived around the corner from each other. They had legit entire households with a wife and children in one, a girlfriend and children in the other, right? Or mistress, whatever you want to call it, right? As soon as we start, no, as soon as we start having this idea that I can do what dudes do, right? Or men, I can do what women do. As true as that statement is, what tends to happen with that is you start to take on the identity of what you weren't meant to take on, right? So who you naturally are and what you're naturally supposed to do, you can't get away from that, right? So I tell people this all the time: no matter how much you attempt to uh, do what a woman does in a mothering role, you cannot be a single father and do what moms do. You just don't have it. It's just not meant to be. Who you truly are is always gonna come through because that child's gonna cry that one time. You be like, nah, player. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna step outside right quick, smoke this cigarette because I don't feel like picking this baby up. That's gonna happen. But a mother will automatically be like, nah, let me pick my baby up immediately, right? As soon as we start getting to this point where, saying that to say this, when we start getting to that point where we start going, okay, I can do what other people do, right? A man can take a woman who has absolutely nothing and stick with her and build her up, and they be like, "Dog, that's your woman. You're supposed to do that, right?" A female is not supposed to take on a man, build him up, right, and then we're good. Like that's not how it was meant to be. It's never been meant to be that way. Now, can you with a mature person change that? Yes. Can you flip that role? Yes. But it's not meant to be that way.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not meant to be that way.
Right.
Um, so sorry about that. We're quarantining in the house and I got kids running around.
It's fine.
But
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We already know what it is over here on Ivy Knows Best, man. You being a mother, you doing your thing. We appreciate you for that. We applaud you for it.
yeah,
And
well,
if any of my guests got something to say, you know where to find me.
oh no, I'm sure
Sitting
people
right
can
here
relate.
in my lavish house coat, of course.
I'm sure they can relate to that.
Right, right. But for
So,
sure, no, I think it's a very powerful thing. But for sure, for sure. Good luck.
but oh,
But go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
so sorry. Getting
No, you
kids
good.
in the bed.
This is real. Hey, I want y'all to understand something, man. When y'all come to this show and y'all listen and y'all talk to people, we're not talking to people who don't have lives. So this is why we appreciate any of you who give any of your time to the show, because you're showing us that you care about me and what I'm talking about enough to talk to me and take care of your family. So this is exactly why we appreciate you and we applaud you, Queen, for doing the things you're doing. So you keep doing that.
Oh,
All right.
well,
So
I just trying to, get it all together real quick so I can go back and hide in my closet. Trapped in the closet, part 39.
you feel me? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You just gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, for sure. I agree. Any person that does take on another individual and continues to hold them down and doesn't get reciprocated in a proper way, they have a right to feel how they feel about it. You know what I'm saying? They have a right to feel disrespected, and they have a right to leave at that point. No one, I'm not saying stick with somebody who doesn't have ambition or drive. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying, oh man, just because he don't drive a Beamer, that him driving his Honda is a problem. No, he has a car. If he's going back and forth to work, respect it.
True,
You
true.
gotta love that. He don't have to have a 7 Series Beamer or an M6 or anything like that. Like he don't gotta have a Bugatti. He just got to be responsible and he's got to be smart and he's got to be economic. But if he's a complete idiot, 'cause some women be out there dating these complete idiots. That happens. You out there dating a complete idiot who's a crash test dummy, don't care about himself. You tripping. Get yourself somebody who got some money and got something about them. Stop doing
Okay.
that. Stop dealing with it. That's out the window now. I tell my daughter all the time, look, my 13-year-old, you don't need that. You don't need that in your life. I don't care if you think he's cute or not. He's ugly. He's he's ugly. He's just he can't provide you with anything that that's a substance anyway. Not at 13, but even when he turns 21, he can't provide you with nothing except a hard time and headache. You can definitely get a headache at 21. That's gonna happen. Right, so out of
That is
respect for
definitely
all
true.
that's what goes on. But now that we got that out the way, all right. Have you ever
Now the kids are in the bed.
now that everyone's gone, all right? Uh, we definitely do like, especially here on the show, we like interacting with our fans. All right, so I always tell people if you don't hear me the first time, you'll hear me the third or fourth time. And if you didn't get episode 32, which if you don't understand what we're talking about, go listen to episode 32. And by the time this is uploaded, you'll understand exactly what we're talking about and where we're going. So, to answer your question, man, before we let you get out of here, um, yeah, we do believe. I mean, I stand by what I believe, but I do thank you for bringing about a lot of valid points, because perspective is a big part of what we do as human beings, right? And sometimes here on Ivy Knows Best, because we don't have a female full time host with us, you just kind of get my opinion, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much for giving us your opinion. We're gonna have to change this to Kanita knows best.
Well, no, because I definitely don't know best. If I knew best, I would definitely be married by now and,
Oh no, no, no,
on
no.
a
See, oh,
different,
hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Here's what we're not gonna do. Okay, we're not gonna hang our hat on marriage and knowing best. No, no. See,
it's
if
not
if
an
you
important thing, but it's nice. It would be nice to, be married and
if you know what I know, if you know what other married people know, we will tell you. No, 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 no. Listen, the longer you can stay with you and inside your mind and focused, yes, it would be great to have a significant, a male in your life or a female if that's what a female does choose. Because obviously we We are a progressive society here on Ivy Knows Best, and we respect everybody. But take your time. Take your time. I don't care if you got to wait till you 50. Look at Diddy. Who did he marry? Nobody. Okay? Nobody. Can't nobody hold him down. Oh no, he got to keep on moving.
You're hilarious.
Shout out to Diddy, man, for sure. Showing us the way, even though people don't realize it. He really is showing us the way though.
I
Me and
mean,
my
and
friend.
no, honestly, marriage does not equate to happiness. I will agree with you on that. I just feel like at this time of my life, in this stage of my life, I'm actually at the point where I'm ready for that. So
And
that's what I meant to say.
you'll
So
find
as
it.
far as knowing what I know best, there's some things I could
See,
learn.
but that's the beauty of Ivy knows best. Because everyone that knows Ivy don't know best. But it's just one of those funny things to say. All right. If you've been around me in person for a good hour to 2 hours, you figure out that there's, not saying there's screws loose, but there's some screws that might need a little more tightening than others. And you figure it
Definitely.
out. You figure it out. But I mean that's the beauty of the show. So I was trying to talk her into doing a podcast, people. All right. So this is a little bit of information. She has a podcast coming out and she doesn't know it yet. So
I
that's
don't.
why she looked at me like, podcast, what is it? She's gonna come out with a podcast. All right. And I look, listen, for anybody, if you when you see this video, comments under any ideas from Miss Stedman to have her own podcast, throw it out because she's a single mother. I told her you're single, black, powerful woman who's taking care of her business, who's focusing on herself, who's bettering herself. People can identify with that. People will attach to that because there's something about there. All right, I said this about this is what I've said when I said on my podcast. I said women were put here to make things better, right? That's including themselves. Women have an internal drive often that men don't have, right? That we pick off of y'all, right? So when we were growing up, I was telling Jessica when I actually had my little sister on here, Jess F. Cam, and I was telling her, I said, hey, you don't always get the parents that you want, you get the parents you need, right? And our mother is a battery. I mean, a serious battery when it comes down to motivation. There was plenty of times where, all right, so just a little story. I had, started, I was going to have my first kid. Called my mom and I was like, well, mom, got a baby coming. First thing she told me was, well, that's what grown folks do when they do grown folks stuff. Congratulations. And guess what you're not going to do? Because my biological father was never in my life. I mean, we recently have rekindled a father son relationship, but I'm an adult at this point. I'm 31. And, so it's really kind of, it's give and take and it's growing, as it goes. Right. So my mother and my father, the man who raised me, my stepfather, definitely showed me and have taught me a lot of things. So if I want to know something or I need to pull some motivation, I'll get it from those spots, right? So when a female is down, you really don't see her talking a lot about her depression, right? She might act out, she might have her issues, but she doesn't have time to be depressed. She got these babies to take care of, she got all these things to take care of, and those things are on the front of her mind. So I did say this. I said when a woman is focused on a goal, right? She's not worried about nothing else. She ain't worried about no men. She ain't worried about no partying. She's worried about that goal. And that's one thing that women have internally that a lot of men don't have drive wise built in them unless they're raised by a woman who automatically has that. Right. So if you were dealing with one of these softer women, and no offense, I'm not saying this is 100% true, but what I've noticed is when a lot of my friends who were raised by softer women, they lack a lot of drive, a lot of drive. But also I've seen that's someone who puts a little bit, a little bit let puts too little of the special ingredient to create a proper meal. Then you got those mamas who are just over the board and too hard and want to beat you about everything. You can't
Mhm.
cry, and she want to punch you in the eye when you look at her crazy. Now you're making them too hard. Now you're putting too much ingredients in. See, so there's a balance, right? So that's a technique that at times there's women who have that technique down perfect. As a father, you don't get an opportunity to really perfect that. You know what I mean? You kind of have to leave it to mom because as a father, you either go out there work, you can give what you can give, But perfect balance parenting as a father for dealing with your daughter, it's not, your punishment of your daughter is give me your phone. Oh my God. Okay. Give me your earbuds. You know what I'm saying? It's all these different things, right? You don't have the you don't have the capability to be like mom. Mom can be 100% hard on everybody. Mom want to bust your head, she gonna bust your head. That don't matter who you are. Oh, you coming around the corner? Hey, I seen you last week, and that'd be the last time. That'd be the last thing you know. But as a dad, you can't just swing on your kids. You're not gonna. That's not gonna happen. You be like, hey kids, like they be like, this dude's a maniac. He's hooking everybody. Like we used to play fight with pops all the time, right? We play fight with him all right. That's like one thing. But like imagine if pops was cracking heads the way mom was cracking heads. Like we'd be
True.
like, dude, what in the world is wrong with him? And we wouldn't appreciate it the same. Like you'd be afraid for him to come home.
True. That's so true.
You'd be like,
That's
oh,
so
this.
true.
Hey, mom, you gotta lay across me because he's coming for me.
But I will
Mhm,
say this. Um, that whole scenario, I still had a different fear of mom than you guys did.
mhm.
She because she was a lot harder on me, but that's a subject for another show because she raised me differently than she raised you guys. She gave you guys a little bit more freedom than she gave me.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
the fear that you said that you just described about, if if it was the opposite,
Yeah,
that
I can only
if
imagine
I had that fear.
because nobody can save you from
So
mom.
nobody could save us. Like, so, and it wasn't in a bad way. It wasn't that she was like totally mean or abusive or anything like that. It
No,
was just that if you did something wrong and then you got your punishment was like you really had a legit harsh punishment.
someone's coming.
Like
Sure.
most parents would take a phone for a week, maybe two. She take a phone for months.
Yeah, you want to say, what you doing on the phone? Okay. And for anybody who don't know, right? Anybody who doesn't know, phones back in the day, right? If you're old enough to remember, like they ran by the minute. So you got a phone bill from the like the,
Yeah.
the phone company, and it would come and it'd be like stupid high. And they'd be like, who was it? And then they give you the paper bill, right? You could flip the bill, you could see where the call came from, who was doing the call, when they was doing it. Man, boy, it took no time
Yeah.
to figure out who it was. They trace it back to you real quick.
Call the number, be like, who was talking to you?
Like who
And
was oh hey, this
that
is
yeah.
this is so and
But
so.
definitely.
Good times, good
Um
stuff.
yeah, I learned a lot growing I thought I still think I it was sometimes she could be a little harder or she was a little harder on me, but it has prepared me for certain things or certain things that I've been through in my life or pretty much with kind of raising my own kids. But I'm a little bit more lenient on my kids, And then also too, it's again, it's a whole different time.
Right.
So
I mean, yeah, now you can't. You mean if you look at your kid wrong, you going to jail. So you know, when
I'm gonna
my
look at my kid wrong because I don't want to have, if I don't discipline my son now, I don't want it to be where he's, a stereotype
right, right,
or,
right,
so I don't want him to be a stereotype and I don't want him to be an example, a bad example to anyone else. We see so much in the news right now. So if I have to go to jail because I'm disciplining my son to make sure he's the man that is that everybody asks, because I sometimes I kind of hesitate on what I want to say, but we're
as you
raising
should.
black men.
Right, right, right.
So you want to raise them the right way because any wrong thing that he do or anything that anybody think is wrong that could mean he's locked up, he's dead.
All things
So
one.
you got to be a little bit harder on them, and I hate that because I got to
Yeah.
make sure he's on his p's and q's to make sure that that doesn't happen to him.
Someone told me the other day because I was talking about how like if my son cries, I get with him about it. And there's what kind of sense does that make? Doesn't make sense to you. I was like, because you're not a male. I was like, if you understood the fact that if you cry about everything that happens to you as a man, you'd be a crying ass man. Especially when especially as an African American man. I don't care who agrees or disagrees with what I'm saying here. The opportunity to cry about every little thing that happens to you isn't happening, right? Because if you sat back and you think about all of the disenfranchisements that happen to our people, right? It doesn't matter from what time frame you talk about it, from the beginning even up till now, right? There's still a fight going on for equality in a lot of different ways, right? And if you sat down, you thought about all those, and you cried about every single one of them, You're gonna legit save your man. Look, listen. I'm gonna die one day. Cry my bet. Don't even cry at my funeral. Throw money at my funeral. I want you to walk. I want you to walk over to my casket. Listen, if I go before you, right? You my sister, and I'm telling you this. If I go before you, I want you to get like a handful of ones. If it's like 600 ones, whatever it is, you still got that little stemmy. Holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? And just like walk over
No,
my casket and go, and just throw it on. I'm being in heaven like this. My lavish robe is gonna be white when I get up there. You know what I'm saying? Be white with gold trimming, with like little diamonds in
I
it.
I will say this. I disagree on trying to. That, that's his way of showing emotions, and
Mhm.
I feel like also we want our black men to be a certain way and to show more emotion as an adult man, as adult men, and like we're not if we're hindering them from showing an emotion, like hush that up, stop crying. What are you crying for? Even though they do have an issue, a reason to cry, it may not be a good reason in your eyes.
It's okay to
It,
cry
it's
about certain
it's
things.
conditioning them to not cry at all or to show any emotion at all, and that's why we have a lot of men, a lot of black men that need to go through therapy right now because of the way that they were raised by our parents,
I'm be
or
honest with you.
not our parents to be, but by parents. Period. Because it's always, why are you crying? You're a man. Men don't cry. Toughen
No,
up.
no,
Stuff
no,
like
no,
that.
no, no, not that. I'm not gonna let you cry about everything. I don't care what society say. You're not about to cry about
It's
everything.
just,
I'm
mm,
being honest with you. I'm not. I'm not. Listen. No, you're not. If you fall and you cry, okay, get up. All right, bro. You good. Keep pushing. Normally, that's what you're gonna do. But if someone's bothering you, want to cry, nah, bro. Nah, 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 no. Because what happens is this: if you start crying now, I'm just gonna. This is the reality of it. You start crying about every little thing. I mean, everything. Someone calls you doodle butt. You don't cry about being called doodle butt. Like you better learn how to get over that. Because what happens
that's
is
bullying.
but a lot of dudes are too emotional now. That's when they're too emotional. They don't think. So it's like, you call me a name. Now I gotta kill. Now I gotta shoot up your family. My girlfriend broke up with me. I'm gonna cry about it. Hey, bro, what you should do? I should kill everybody. Like it's all that. You should smack up, like, bro. Look, no, 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 no. Relax. You ain't gotta be extra hard, but you definitely not gonna be overly emotional about the smallest things because the smallest things can lead to the biggest disasters. So a lot of times people think that, oh man, oh don't tell our black men not to cry. No, 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 no. You can cry, but you're not about to cry about little stuff. Because believe me, there's gonna be times in your life when you want to shed tears and you can't. You don't have time to do it. Look, listen, when the first time you broke and you need to feed your baby, you ain't got time to sit there and cry, bro. You don't. You don't have to. You better. Hey, look. I don't care if you work in a McDonald's, if you work at at a on a construction site, if you work in a corporate America, whatever you're doing, you don't have time to cry. You now, granted, can you cry about it in your own personal time? Sure. If it's therapeutic for you, do it. But you're not gonna cry every time you fall. No. What's gonna happen is you're gonna learn to material internalize, and then after you internalize it, you materialize what you need. All right. So, all right, damn, that hurt. All right, reflection. Maybe I need to do this. You need to learn how to think. Because what happens is when you emotionally, as a male, when you emotionally engage, this is the difference between a female emotionally engaged and a man. A female operates in her emotions so much, her emotional engagement is natural, right? As a male, it's really a mental engagement. It's a thinking game. So you can't go into checkers mode while you playing chess because you mess around and mess up your whole life and everybody else subsequently with it. I'm in a situation right now personally where if I fall off, my whole family in trouble. Imagine being a man and you fall off and it's a wrap because you were too emotional right now, bro. Chill. Because if I go off like as a man, there'd be days you be like, bro, you know what? I'm gonna beat everybody ass in here. Like it crossed your. I'm gonna put everybody in the hospital. They better have 911 on speed dial. But that's your emotions talking. But when you think, bro, this is my job. Let me just sit down and shut up and let these people get to me because I'll mess up my whole life. As a female,
That's I must.
you can be like, I'm gonna
Mm-mm,
kill, hey bitches, I'll kill all y'all, and y'all better not bet it. I'm gonna take a day off. You better get a day off. They gonna get. Are you okay? The next day, are you all right? Everything cool? Now they're probably gonna
not
fire you
true.
too. They're gonna probably
They
fire you, but they're gonna be like, at first they're gonna ask questions. The police ain't gonna be there on call. at the beginning. As a man, the police gonna be right there waiting on you as soon as you pull up, Mr. Ivy. Yeah. No, I'm Charles. Mr. Charles, let me get in the building. Like, you're coming with us.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna make it interesting at that point, but that's neither here nor there. But that's
well,
that's why you can't. That's why I don't allow my son to really be overly emotional.
hmm. Well, so many good things to talk about.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Um, but yeah, might have to do it. I don't know. You might have to have me back because now that I feel a little bit more comfortable.
See,
Yeah,
I tell people look, I tell people all the time when you are a guest of mine, it starts off cool, and then we get in the groove, and then we are just at this point we're talking. We're not even we're not even having a show. We forgot y'all were even here. Okay, this is how we normally
correct.
talk on the phone, right? And that's why I tell people, man, if you go back and listen to Drinks with Friends was, by the way, I'm trying to put back up, all right, after having it taken down 4 times. Then, if you go listen to Jess F. Cam, Brooklyn Ray, John Brown, or the Father's Day special I threw, man, it's just a conversation to me catching up with people. And we're all having a good time because it's just a comfortable, it's a comfortable vibe. I'm sitting here conversating with you guys in my
Mhm.
house, which is 78 degrees right now, and I'm hot. I am hot in this little ass robe. This ain't even little.
So why you have this robe on?
Gives the show personality, baby. Do you not see the light? Hold on, let me show y'all something.
So I got a question. Vacation time's coming up.
I'm
So if
listening.
I decide to come do another show, will I have to wear my lavish robe?
Yes, you will. Now,
Because I got
listen,
several. I got several.
listen. You can bring if you have 6 lavish robes or less. It's a must. All right. I always tell people this all the time. I didn't know anything about bathrobes until I was 30. I knew about them, but
Really?
yeah, last year. Last year's when I 2 years ago. Essentially, this year will be 2 years. But all right, so I went to this little spot called the World Market, and
Hmm.
I and I was like, oh, that is a real lavish robe. And I put it on. I never took it off. I wore it out the store. I was like, beep,
Oh.
hurry up. Swipe was $32. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Okay. So now, like right before I go to bed, I tell my kids I love them. But first I eat my food, I take my shower, and then I'll be like, let me go and sit in my robe for a little bit while I do my little facial or whatever I do, and I just relax. This right here is different. What y'all talking about?
Hmm.
I don't even like
Okay.
messing up my nails no more. Hey, shout out to Akeem Ali, because now he got me feeling like if I break my nails on somebody, I'm gonna be furious.
Oh, okay.
She's probably lost, but don't worry about it. If you ever have
I am
opportunity to
very
listen,
lost. I don't know who he is.
hey, side note, guys, go listen to Kimi Casanova by Akeem Ali. All right. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But listen, ma'am, thank you very much for being with us today. We do appreciate you. Okay. The next show that we decide to have that's going to be a visual will have to be in a lavish robe. You don't have a choice now. So
Yeah.
there you go.
And hair combed and, not
Ain't
fresh from work and all that stuff.
ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you. I'm wearing a hat inside
Yeah.
at nighttime. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you for having me.
Hey man, thank you for letting us have you here, man. Hey, by the way, it's Ivy Knows Best. If you are looking for her anywhere, you can find her on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. I believe you're on Snapchat. Are you on
Sometimes on Snapchat.
Snapchat? So what's your
But
Instagram information, all that cool stuff?
Instagram is Kanita Jaquel. Facebook is Kanita Jaquel.
All right, no Twitter.
I'm old, so I didn't get. I was more MySpace, Facebook, Instagram.
Right, right.
Those
The big
things.
three.
And
The
what
big
was
three.
before it was something else before MySpace that I was on
Black
as well.
Black
So
Planet.
Black
Black Planet.
Planet, yes, I was
Yes.
on Black Planet. So I think I still have that account if it's still available because I remember looking it up and seeing old pictures. But that's how old I am. I stopped it after after that.
Hey, look, listen. Well, thank you very much for being a mature woman. Thank you very much for being a powerful woman. We all do appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do. And as always, it's Ivy Knows Best, man. Y'all have a nice day and thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye.